So coming into this week, this is my weekly forecast on GBP, gold, euro. So we are going to see what to expect coming into this trading session. So we have FOMC coming this week, so expect a lot of volatility. So let's get into it. So we'll start with EU. So on euro, from the daily time frame, we can see that the swing structure is bearish and the internal structure has been following a bearish order flow. Now seeing this bearish order flow itself, we can see that euro is currently bearish. Now taking a look at the recent price action. So looking at the recent price action, you can see that we have this internal breakout structure. After this huge bearish momentum, prices fell to the downside. We had this sideways price action over here. After that, price swept these highs and then gave a daily change of character. Now with this daily change of character, it indicates that price wants to go to the downside. Now how can we expect price going to the downside? So within this change of character, we can expect price coming into this EQs over here and then continuing with the bearish momentum to the downside to take out these lows. So on the daily time frame, this is what I'm saying. Let's see on the H4. So on the H4, you can see my swing structure is bearish. The internal structure is also bearish. After that, price swept these highs, came down with the bearish momentum. I was expecting this H4 demand to hold, but it failed, and you can see we have a change of character downside. Now if we take a closer look at this price action, so looking at the recent price action, we have this change of character over here. After that, price is consolidating over here, pushing to the downside. What we can expect is coming into this week, price could come into this H4 supply, which is a high probability supply, and we can expect price to continue with the bearish momentum to take out these lows, or we can even expect these lows over here, and which would give us a new swing break of structure. So there are two moves that we can play coming into this session. Is that we can expect short-term buys into this H4 supply. So after mitigating this H4 supply, I won't be looking for longs because this is a high probability H4 supply which could push price to the downside to continue with this bearish order flow. So this is what I'm thinking on euro going into this week. Short-term buys into this H4 supply. From here, we could expect price to come to the downside, and shorts are more in favor after price mitigate this H4 supply. Now if this doesn't happen and price just continue with the downside, we could expect price coming into this fresh supply, and then we can continue with the bearish momentum. But this is still the zone which I would be expecting price to come, looking for shorts. So this is what I'm seeing on euro going into this session. Let's see on GU. Now let's look at GU going into this week. So we can see my swing structure is bearish. After that, we have this internal bearish breakout structure, internal bearish breakout structure, and then we got an internal breakout structure to the upside. Now we could expect that maybe after this sweep, price wants to make a swing high, but if we zoom a little back, we can see that price is currently bearish. You can see price gave a swing breakout structure, came back into the EQ of this structure. After that, fell down again, swept these lows, came back into the EQ of this structure, and we can expect price coming down following this order flow. So maybe this internal breakout structure to the upside was just to mitigate this daily supply, and we can now expect price to continue with this bearish momentum to the downside. I'm still thinking that maybe from the daily time frame, we could expect price to come into this daily demand, give a small reaction either into this daily supply or even into this daily supply, and then continue with this bearish momentum to take out these lows. Now if these two daily supply fail, we could just expect price pushing towards the upside to give a new swing breakout structure to the upside. So let's see on the H4. So looking at the recent price action on the H4, you can see we have the swing breakout structure to the upside, and after that we recently got this internal breakout structure to the downside. So we could be in the pullback phase of this leg over here. Now what to expect? So currently we are in the middle between this daily demand and this daily supply. Either price could come into this daily demand, we get a reaction from here, we get short-term buys into this daily supply, or even if this daily supply fail, we can get a short-term buys even into this daily supply. After that, we can expect the bearish momentum to continue to the downside. Now if this demand has a lot of strength, we can expect price to just push to the upside. So not sure about that, but we can expect price to either come here into this daily supply first, we'll get shorts over here to continue into this daily demand. After that, we can get short-term buys, a reaction into this fresh supply, and then continue with the bearish momentum to the downside. So this is what I am seeing in GU going into this week. So we are in the middle currently, we haven't mitigated any significant demand or supply. So I will be looking for this price to come into this daily demand and then looking for longs to play into this daily supply or even into this daily supply. After we get a good change of character from these two supplies, I would be interested in looking for short to continue with the bearish momentum to the downside. So on GU, this is what I'm seeing going into this week. Now let's look at gold. So on gold going into this week on the daily time frame, you can see that we have the swing breakout structure to the downside. After that, you can see there is internal bearish breakout structure. So after this recent internal breakout structure, price came into this EQ, reacting from this supply over here. We got price pushing down and price came into this daily demand, which is the daily demand that led to this change of character. Now we can see that this daily demand led to another change of character, which means that this daily demand is holding and we could expect price pushing to the upside to take out these highs over here. We can even expect price coming into this daily supply. Now let's look at this recent price action a little closer. So on the daily time frame, we can see after this change of character, price came into this daily demand and we are reacting. So if we are expecting that this daily demand could hold and we want price to push to the upside, we are looking for longs. So let's see on the H4 how we can look for opportunities. So on the H4, you can see that this is my swing breakout structure. After that, this is my internal breakout structure and this is the internal breakout structure high over here. And looking at the recent price action, now we have this change of character over here. After that, price mitigated this daily supply and with huge bearish momentum, price came back down into this H4 demand. Now after mitigating this H4 demand, you can see we have a change of character. Now this change of character could mean that price wants to go to the upside. We are going to get short-term buys into this H4 supply, and if this H4 supply fails, we could expect price to just continue with the momentum to the upside, or if this H4 supply holds, we can expect price continue with the bearish momentum to the downside, take out these lows. Now since we have this change of character over here, you can see price pushed up and it's coming back down. We mitigated this demand once. I'm thinking that this could be used as an inducement. Price could come back down into this H4 demand and then continue with the bullish momentum to the upside. So coming into this week, I'm expecting that we could have bullish momentum from this daily demand. After the mitigation, we can expect short-term buys into this H4 supply, and if this H4 supply holds, we can expect price coming down, or if it fails, we can just expect price pushing to the upside. So going into this week, my first preference will be short-term buys into this H4 supply, and if we have a bearish momentum from this H4 supply, I would be looking for shorts. And if this H4 supply fails, we know that price wants to push to the upside to take out these highs, and we can look for longs to catch continuation. So going into this week, this is my plan, and if you'd like to see more daily market analysis like this, make sure to subscribe and follow.